Welcome back to the Karyn Reece Show. We are so excited to have our next guest with us, Fernanda Alvarez. She's the owner, the founder, the one-man show of the beautiful brand Funky Mexicana. And she's here with us today all the way from Mexico. And she's also living in the States as well, but right now she's with us from Mexico. Fernanda, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, ladies. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be saying hi from Mexico. I split my time between Mexico, Miami, sometimes New York, but mostly Mexico and Miami. That's where the heart is.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Anyways, so tell us a little bit more, Fernanda, about what was the impetus behind starting, La Funky Mexicana?
Well, it has a great, it all came because I was living in the States for the past 8 years, since 2014. I was in the food industry for the longest. I started here in Mexico, and then I followed in Miami. I opened restaurants. I was a private chef. I was all about the food industry. That requires a sense of creativity, of course, sensibility, and my mom is an artist, so I had it in my blood. I also love design, but I didn't know I was good at it, right? So I knew I was good at food and PR and all of that. And I love people. So that's why I started a career in the food industry. However, after the pandemics, being away from my family was super tough. I was in the States for the most part. I didn't have a partner. So I was on my own running my business, my restaurant. And that last year was terrible because, like pandemics. So we were working and making the minimum we could, money wise, so we could keep up the business, but we weren't doing money for us, my business partner and I. So it was frustrating. It was depressing, to the point where you are like, okay, is this the right thing to do? Like, what am I doing here, right? Because not only that, how am I going to pay for my life, right? Because we didn't know when this was going to end. It was very uncertain. So I decided to come to Mexico after all the year. I sold the restaurant. I was lucky enough to be able to sell it. And literally I took a step and I said, you know what? I need to be close to my family. I have these major anxiety, all of the things that were going through the pandemics, I had them. And I wasn't even aware of that. I was like, what's wrong? Am I going crazy? I didn't know, right? Because I didn't know. I was in a fight or flight mode. So when I step back and I sit down, I was like, okay, first I need my family. I need the love and I need the support and I need to be close to them. So I'm going to do whatever it takes in order to have that, because how else am I going to be functioning as a human again, right? Mm-hmm. It was like a calling. It was, I swear, it was like a moment of truthness and reality to myself, mm-hmm. because I couldn't stand it anymore. So I came to Mexico December 2020, and my mom, she has a design business. She has a workshop. She employs almost 25 women, wow. Mexican. Yeah. She works with indigenous communities in different parts of Mexico. So I wanted to be close to my mom. I had turned 34 in that time. And I needed my mom. That's a reality. I wanted my mom. I felt like the urge to be next to her. So I asked her if I could join her team as part of my therapy. I wanted to be creative with my hands. I didn't want to be in the kitchen at all. So I joined her, and that's how La Funky Mexicana was born.
Oh, I love that.
Beautiful story. And you mentioned your calling too, which is, incredible. You were just, and, it shows your resilience and your toughness. And I like how you mm-hmm. bring into light, the family support too, without even realizing at the time the pandemic was affecting you. But it just goes to show you're you bounce back. You mm-hmm. have a gift for doing that and helping women too. I love the fact that your mom and you have that connection.
And that's really what our show is about. Mm-hmm. It's all about, supporting small businesses and supporting, you know, people with good stories, who have good stories to tell, who are doing a lot for the community. And I feel like that's all you. So, you know, when we found you, it was just like very synchronistic for, you know, our show as well. So no, you did mention that you are splitting your time, you know, between Mexico and then also Miami. You know, so how is it different running your business now that you're split between two different places?
So, well, the workshop is here because we manufacture every single thing here. But it's funny because ever since I started this business, without even knowing that it was gonna be a real business, you know, I thought it was gonna be like a workshop for me to be like creative. Ever since I started, since my last, like my life has been in the States, so I know a lot of people. Somehow I was connected to the idea of manufacturing here, like bringing Mexico everywhere, you know? So it makes sense, right? Like my people is here, the talent, there's talent everywhere in the world, but the talent that I know and that I am really close to is the Mexican talent, right? Because the colors, because the way we work. So I think it's what needed to be done in order to create whatever I was trying to create, to promote the Mexican culture everywhere, like around the world. And if you do have like a headquarter here and one in the States, you have the world, right? Like it's easier.
No, that makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
So how has your business evolved, and, you know, since you started it to date, and then what do you see in the next 10 years, or what would you like to see with your business and its evolution?
So it's evolved. It's been really fast. Like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, is this real? Because as you said when you introduced me, I'm the one-man show. Of course, I have people that work for me, but I'm the one designing every single piece. I'm the one doing the sales. I'm the one closer to the people, the PR. It has evolved to a point where now I hold waiting lists because, again, my products are unique pieces. I make them, like I create them.
So now that you are, you know, a successful entrepreneur, what misconception about small business owners, because there's many, did you debunk yourself as you were running your brand and your experiences that you've gotten through that?
You don't need to have all the money in the world to start a business. All you need to have is an idea. Of course, if it wasn't for my mom, like, I don't know, I wouldn't have done it this way, because she has now her team of people, like professionals, like she's created them, you know, through the years, and they're amazing. They know what they're doing. So as long as you have someone in your team who backs you up and tells you, hey, I think we should do this. But it's been great because I'm the one creating, and I have amazing people who is making the manufacturing so much easier. So I've been an entrepreneur since I was 22 years, and I'm 36 now. So I would say everyone go for it. It's not easy, but at the end of the day, the reward of meeting your own expectations, I guess, and making people, especially if it's product, right? If it's product, you feel super happy when people accept your product.
If our audience would like to find more about you or your brand, how can they go about doing so?
So we're launching my webpage this week, relaunching because I was using another site, and it's funkymexicana.com. I ship everywhere in the world. You can also find me on Instagram as La Funky Mexicana. And I'm the one who's responding all the messages. I'm always interacting with people on social media. I've also was trained for social media, so that's helped me a lot because my main business is online.
Right.
So, and I hopefully one day people can find my products in big retail stores. Hopefully.
It'll happen.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Fernanda, thank you so much for joining us today. You know, you are so inspirational. We love your brand, and
thank you.
More with you soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.